Welcome back. I am so excited to start the school year. I can't wait to see you. It's been so long. I would like to say a special welcome to our new families. I'm thankful that you've joined our community, and I look forward to getting to know you better. For those of you who are returning, you will know that we're doing things a little bit differently this year. Instead of our traditional parent night, we're having orientation meetings where you have the opportunity to talk with your child's teacher. And instead of watching me live in the sanctuary, you're watching me on a screen. So thank you for your patience and for doing things a little differently. This year will definitely be a different year, but it's going to be a great year, and we get to reopen. So that's certainly a praise. I'd like to begin by reading our mission statement. The Charleston Christian School partners with Christian families and their churches to teach knowledge, wisdom, and virtue from a Christian perspective. I am so thankful that the Lord has sustained us and allows us to have another school year this year. I don't take it for granted. I can't tell you how many times this summer I thought to myself, well, this is it. We're not going to be able to do this anymore. But clearly the Lord has another plan, and He wants us to have school this year, and I'm just so thankful. And I'm thankful that we have the freedom to teach from a Christian perspective. I don't take that for granted either. I think all of us realize that every institution, every school has an agenda. And we are very upfront and clear about our agenda. We're not hiding anything. We want to teach children from a Christian perspective. We want to help parents raise children in the fear of the Lord. We want the same message that your children hear at home and the same message your children hear at church to be the same message that they hear here. And what is that message? The message is there's a God who is there, and He is not silent. He has sent us His Son that we may have forgiveness of sin and peace with God. And He's given us His word, the Bible, so that we may know how to live. We exist to help children learn how to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. Again, I'm very thankful that we are able to do this. It's certainly a blessing. All right, now then transitioning from our mission and getting into more of the nuts and bolts here. We sent out a reopening plan about a month ago. We have a plan in place. We don't just have a plan, we also have a program in place. But I wanted to begin by just highlighting what we already have in place, what the Lord has already blessed us with. I have never been more thankful to be a small school than I am this year. I'm so thankful. The fact that we are a small school community and that our classes are well below the CDC guidelines, that just helped us to reopen and to get things to reopen in a way where things are as normal as possible. We are also very blessed to have a school nurse, Mrs. Rebecca Maddox. That's not typical. Schools our size typically don't have a school nurse, and it's not something that all private schools, not all private Christian schools are able to offer. So I'm so very thankful that she is here with us. This is her second year with us. The Lord clearly provided her, knowing that we would need her specifically for this year. So I'm very thankful. And she is overseeing our new program, the I'm Healthy Today program. We also invested in a new cleaning service. So those are some of the measures that we already have in place. I want to just highlight our safety program and highlight a few aspects of our reopening plan. You're probably wondering, why did we move forward with a safety program? As I was working on a reopening plan, it was clear that there's just not a plan in existence that could address every hypothetical situation that might come our way. And I know that I'm certainly not qualified to know who should be or should not be here on campus. So when I came across this program that was created by doctors, I was really excited about it because I think that this enables us to tap into some expertise here. Also, as I looked over the results of the survey, I just kind of heard loud and clear that everybody wants things to be as normal as possible, and everybody also wants things to be as safe as possible. And the I'm Healthy Today program, I think, speaks to both of those things. It's a risk mitigation program. It ensures a certain degree of safety beyond what we could do with just a reopening plan. And then it also gives us more freedom. Specifically, I know a lot of people were concerned about how long children have to wear masks. This program helps us ensure that it's an optional thing and not a mandatory requirement, because everyone who is on campus has been cleared. So this program, parents will receive a daily assessment. These are questions that are based on CDC guidelines, and the questions won't always be the same. They're based on an algorithm. And then parents will either receive a green light, a yellow light, or a red light. Green light means you're cleared to come to school. Red light means please stay home. Yellow light means please get clearance or guidance from a doctor. The cost for this program is $10 per month per child. We will, for 10 months, and we will build this out through ParentsWeb. If this is a hardship, please let me know. All right, our reopening plan highlights. The reopening plan should also be attached to the email that we sent you all, but just to highlight a few things. Our big idea, we want to reduce student crossover to keep school open as much as possible. And by doing that, we would only quarantine specific classes in the event that a student tests positive for COVID. Homeroom teachers are going to take student temperatures. Students in the hallways in grades 5 through 8 are going to be required to wear masks. They're not required in the classroom, but will be required in hallways. We did create a quarantine room that is separate from the nurse's office, so that students with a fever who are waiting on their parents would be in a separate place than students who just have a cut or bruise that the nurse needs to attend to. Also this year, we will have a flexible attendance policy. We are certainly going to take attendance, but you can miss as many days as you need to. It's not going to count against you at all. And then we also have new arrival and dismissal procedures. Our first day of school is next Tuesday, September 8th. It is a full day of school. Traditionally, our first day of school has been a half day. This year, it's a full day. I can't wait to see you. The reason why it's a full day and not a half day has a lot to do with our new dismissal policy procedure, which I'll go over in a second. But yeah, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be a different year, but it's really going to be a great year. And I'm just so thankful that we are able to return. Don't take it for granted. School hours. Our school doors will open at 8 o'clock. School will begin at 8:15. Kindergarten and first grade will have a different dismissal time at 2:45. Our grades 2nd through 8th grade will be dismissed at 3:15, and our pickup line will begin at 3:15. After school starts at 3:30, and after school ends at 3:30. Okay, arrival procedures. Like last year, you are welcome to drive to the back gym entrance and drop kids off at the back gym entrance. Unlike last year, kids are not going to hang out in the gym before school starts. They will go directly to their homeroom class. You are welcome to park and walk your child to their homeroom. Just a reminder, adults and students in grades 5 and above must wear a mask in the hallway, and we will also take your temperature if you are an adult. Kindergarten and first grade parents, in a minute, we have a special arrival procedure that's just for you. I know how important it is for you to walk your child to the classroom, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then also students will have their temperature checked in homeroom. All right, arrival procedures, kindergarten and first grade. You are welcome to park and walk your child to class. They have a door right at the playground. So what you can do, if you park near the small playground, you can walk through the playground and walk them to that door, to their door. And if you do that, then you don't need to wear a mask, or we don't need to take your temperature. That would be just an easier way to walk them to their class. And we just ask that you just please stay on the playground as your child enters the classroom. And then just right here, you can't really see it in this picture, but there's a parking area. You can walk through the playground. Here's the kindergarten door, the first grade door, it's here. And that could just be just a different entrance, but a special way that you can still walk your child to class, because I know that's important to y'all, and we wanted to give you a provision for that. Okay, dismissal. Our car line will begin at 3:15 for students in grades 2nd grade through 8th grade. Please use the car rider hang tag. That helps us so much to know what child goes to which car. And you'll just put your name right up here. We will have some of these available when you come to orientation. Also, through ParentsWeb, please let us know who has permission to pick up your child. Some of you have grandparents pick up your child. Some of you have babysitters. Totally fine. We just need to know who they are, and they need to be listed. Dismissal will end at 3:30. Our after-school care program will begin at 3:30 and end at 5. Dismissal continued. All students will dismiss outside. You are welcome to park and collect your child, but please collect your child outside. Please do not enter the building for dismissal. Our grade levels are going to have different dismissal stations, and then our kindergarten and 1st grade will have a different dismissal time. Now, this dismissal procedure is actually our second plan. Our first plan had everybody dismissing at a different time. So we scratched that idea. I talked to our police officer. We came up with a plan B, which I think is a better plan. But I do understand that it's not convenient for kindergarten and 1st grade to have a different dismissal time, but that was the only way to really ensure that we don't back up traffic into Bees Ferry, which is a concern for our police officers. But I will talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Okay, dismissal for kindergarten. Kindergarten will have a different dismissal time. The kindergarten schedule, the last class of the day is second recess. It begins at 2:10 and it ends at 2:45. And the second recess is their last class of the day. So parents, you're welcome to pick up your child as early as 2:10 if that's more convenient for you. But please pick them up by 2:45. And please park and pick them up at the small playground. So why a different dismissal time for kindergarten? The main reason is just making adjustments to our dismissal procedure to ensure social distancing. In addition to that, we recognize that our little ones have a very difficult time surviving the entire school day. A 3:15 dismissal is really too long for them. That's the feedback that we've received from our kindergarten teacher and talking to other schools. And that's why they have their second recess at the end of the day, because they're just they're done. We've also noticed over the years that our kindergarten parents love to talk to the teacher when they pick up their child, which I totally understand. So just think of this early dismissal as built-in teacher conference time. So if you have an older child in the school, you can pick up your kindergartner, chat with Ms. Smith for a little while, and then get back in the car line. But please pick them up by 2:45. And this is, again, the kindergarten. This is the playground that's specifically for our kindergarten and 1st graders, and that's where they can be picked up. All right, our 1st grade dismissal. They also will be dismissed at 2:45. They will also be dismissed at the small playground, and please park and pick them up at the small playground, which is right here. Okay, our drop off and pickup procedure for grades 2nd through 8th. The car loop will be very similar to what it was last year. As you can see, everyone enters this way. We are asking everyone to go around the perimeter of our parking lot just so that we can get more cars in our pickup lanes. And then we have different stops along the way. We have a stop for our second graders, a stop for third graders, a stop for fourth and fifth, and then a stop for sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. Again, parents are also welcome to park and pick up their child outside at these areas. Also, if you are going through the line, we're going to try to have 2 lanes. So if you do not have a second grader, please go to the right-hand side and drive around to the stop that you need to go to. All right, so let's go through this. This is where our second graders are going to be dismissed. They are at this gate where they're at this gate at the new playground. That's where their stopping pickup place is. Third grade will be where all of our dismissals were last year. That's where our third graders will be. Fourth and fifth grade, they will be dismissed. This is right behind where they were dismissed last year, but there's a little parking area here. This is where our fourth and fifth graders will be. It's the parking lot that's behind the dumpsters. I know that doesn't sound nice. I couldn't think of a different way to say that. If you have an idea, let me know. And then lastly, our middle schoolers will dismiss at the very front entrance. See, like here's the Grace and the Ashley sign. They'll be right here. And so once again, we will have different stopping points along the way. And just please slowly and carefully pass cars that are picking up children if it's not the grade that you need to stop at. This will take a great deal of patience and grace for this to work. I'm not sure how smoothly this will go the first time, probably not smoothly at all. I'm sure we may have to tweak this a few times. But again, thank you so much for your patience and understanding. There's really no way to try this before the first day of school unless everybody just wants to come voluntarily and practice going around this. But again, I'm just thankful that we're starting school. It's going to be a different year, but it's going to be a great year. And I'm thankful to the Lord that we get to start school. I did not assume that we would be able to do this. So I'm thankful that we're going to do it, even though it requires some changes and some bumps along the way. Quick reminder, this is the same policy as last year. Our early dismissal policy, please communicate with the office and your child's teacher in writing or an email before 8:30 on the day that your child needs to be dismissed early. Please use the office@charlestonchristian.org email. Without an approved early dismissal request, students will not be dismissed from the last class unless it's an illness or family emergency. The last class of the day really is very important. I know our 8th graders are taking Spanish 1 for high school credit, the last class of the day. So it's important that they are able to stay for the entirety of that class. School closings, we follow the Charleston County School District for closures regarding inclement weather. Obviously, we would follow any kind of order from the governor, I'm particularly thinking about hurricanes. Hopefully we do not have one this year, but we've had one for quite a few years in a row. But if school is called off by Charleston County or by the governor because of inclement weather, we follow that school closing. One change this year, we are not following district decisions regarding closures due to COVID, obviously. Our after-school program begins at 3:30, it ends at 5. The fee, it's $10 per day per family, regardless of how many children stay. It is a $30 enrollment fee, and fees will be charged to your fax account. We will charge a late fee of $1 per minute if students are picked up after 5. Incidental billing. Families will be billed through fax, ParentsWeb for incidentals such as lunches, field trips when that gets started, if that gets started, and after school care. Fees will be added to your account, and all payments must be made through your fax ParentsWeb account. ParentsWeb is our main communication system. Through ParentsWeb, parents can view behavior reports, attendance records, progress reports, homework, It's also the main way that events and activities and field trips are announced. It's also used for incidental billing. And Mrs. Phipps is available to assist anyone who needs help with ParentsWeb. Lunch at CCS. Our hot lunch will begin this September. Just give us 2 weeks to get that in place. Our vendors will include Chick-fil-A, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and Pizza Hut. And just as a reminder, CCS is a nut-safe school. Please do not bring in nut products. And then lastly, our family handbook for the year is attached to this email. There are not many changes because, my goodness gracious, so many things had to change because of COVID. If it didn't have to change, we're going to make changes beyond what had to be changed. So I guess the main changes are in this presentation. They have to do with arrival and dismissal procedures. But in a few weeks, you'll be asked to acknowledge that you've read it and will abide by it. And it is available on ParentsWeb under document resources. And then lastly, important email addresses. Here are the main ones. office@charlestonchristian.org. If your student, if your child is absent due to illness, if you need to have an early dismissal or an appointment, that's the best email address to use. sphipps@charlestonchristian.org. That's Mrs. Phipps' email address. If you have questions about ParentsWeb, she's a great resource. Nurse Maddox is rmaddox@charlestonchristian.org. Any health concerns? My email address is achandler@charlestonchristian.org, and teachers will communicate their Charleston Christian email addresses as well. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you this week, and I look forward to a good school year. It's going to be a different school year, but it's going to be a great school year, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing you. Thanks.